And it's yeah. Senators have reintroduced a highly unpopular Earn It bill that would scan all online messages. Red alert, red
Oh, of
alert,
course it would. Of course it would.
red alert, red alert. By the
The
way,
new Earn It Act.
Debate Me channel said there's an animal in your house. Yes, it's a dog that's over his right shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
We know. We know. That's Puppo. That's Puppo.
Puppo, what are you doing?
So one of the things I love about Common Dreams, and again, I said there was going to be a lot of Common Dreams in tonight's. But you can't see that because the header's probably no. You can see Common Dreams in the header. Good. So they also co-publish with other great outlets and publications, like for example the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the EFF. So
the EFF sounds like a wrestling.
So
federation.
Joe Mullen publishes this article. Let's be clear, the new Earn It Act, and you know that anytime they title it like this is exactly the opposite of what it's going to accomplish. It's going to screw you.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, what are we earning?
Right?
Like,
yeah. It would pave the way for a massive new surveillance system run by private companies that would roll back some of the most important privacy and security features and technology used by people around the globe. No big deal, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's just like what reading their private people don't want outsiders reading their private messages, not their physical mail, not their text, not their DMs, nothing. It's clear an obvious point, but one so
bipartisan.
Yeah, like,
again, both parties suck. Both parties suck.
So what exactly are they claiming this does? Like,
the Earn It Act would pave the way for a massive new surveillance system. Like I said, it could ensure that anything hosted online is scanned.
Oh god, it's worse. It's private actors. So they're doing it for like you can get ads. They're trying to get oh god.
Yep.
It's even worse than we thought.
Yep.
Like
brutal. So the bill empowers every U.S. state or territory to create sweeping new internet regulations by stripping away Section 230. Right? That's...
Yeah.
How many... again, they've been talking about this since before Trump, that Section 230. Section 230. Now, again, this is a talking point on both sides because there are parts of Section 230 that are excellent. There are parts of Section 230 that are completely outdated. There are parts of Section 230 that need to be revised and parts that need to be completely abolished. There are parts that aren't addressed completely at all because the technology didn't exist when Section 230 was written.
Yeah.
So again, like peer-to-peer secure applications, I'm sure which existed but didn't really exist to the level that you can have. Again, look, WhatsApp, Signal, and iMessage. There you go. Boom. That's what they're trying to get. Peer-to-peer encrypted applications. Like Amazon Web Services. Telegram, I'll bet they're going after Telegram as well, right? Right?
Discord's on Amazon Web Services, I think. So
are they? I thought they were on Microsoft, but maybe not. That would make sense if they were on Amazon too. Right? So
one of the two.
It creates a 19-person federal commission dominated by law enforcement, which lays out voluntary best practices for online child abuse, which, look, very important, but at the same time, that gets into privacy issues. Again, Cloudflare, Amazon Web Services to scan. It might not even
if you're
need...
messaging with your doctor, is that not like patient-doctor confidentiality, and therefore you're being unconstitutional and you're like... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I'm saying. So
like, not to mention the fact that if they start finding like CP or whatever through messages and stuff, are they then part of that? Like, yeah. Anyway.
Like, I didn't want to talk about that.
It's a terrible idea, government. Terrible idea.
Yeah, and it's got bipartisan support, so you know that it's going to screw us. Because that's the only time they come together, as George says. That's right. Yeah. And he's not the only one, but I've heard other brilliant comedians lately say that effectively, and I think it was Jimmy Dore. Yes. So a lot of scanning, not a lot of protection exactly. So they support the Earn It Act, and they need new tools to prosecute cases over child sex abuse material, or CSAM, which of course they do. Again, we want to give them all the tools possible, but at the same time, respecting everybody else's privacy that isn't participating in that. How do you do that?
Right.
I don't know how you walk that line.
This is like pre-crime. You know?
Well, right, and it's not just no, it's not pre-crime, but it's more like Big Brother being able to look into everything that you do. It's not really necessarily predictive crime.
Without a warrant. Right, you would need pre-crime, then get the warrant to go. Like that's what I'm saying. Where it's like,
right, it's one step from that, right? But again, it already does not protect online service providers from prosecutions under CSAM. It doesn't provide them from prosecution under any federal criminal law, which it shouldn't. Which is wait, what? That's interesting. Is there anything else to protect them as a service provider from that? I'm sure there is. They're required to report it.
Right. There's a thing about those like public, like they don't get like publishing faults or whatever, right? Because they're not deemed publishing. But
independent child protection experts aren't asking for systems to read everyone's private messages. Right. So that's the other thing that you have to note here is who is. It's Congress for a completely different reason, and we all know this. And yes. And E. Heller says, aren't they basically asking for permission to do what they've already been doing through the NSA? Yeah, probably.
Right.
In some ways, but no, not really. They can't monitor every single Discord thread around the world. And that's what effectively this wants to be able to do.
Well, it's the peer-to-peer stuff that they're wanting to definitely get in on, right? Where it's, the stuff that is encrypted, they're wanting backdoors or whatever. I mean, it's. I mean, they're also wanting the ability for private organizations to be able to, and that's even worse.
All right, mass surveillance plans, end-to-end encryption. Okay, they're magically compatible. Okay, called client-side scanning. The Internet Act doesn't target big tech. It targets every individual internet user, treating us all as potential criminals. Right.
We deserve criminals. Right. We're all.
It turns everything around. Right. And everything you publish, again, you should be watching everything you say, do, and publish anywhere. If you put it in a cloud or anywhere off of a secure hard drive, effectively. But yeah, it uses tech companies as its tools. Exactly. So get private companies to do the dirty work of mass surveillance. What a surprise. A lot of them have already been doing it. And this is, again, where they talked about Apple subverting its own encryption, which they wouldn't do. But then law enforcement broke into it anyway. Right. All right. We won't waver in our support for privacy and security for all. Electronic Frontier Foundation, the EFF. Support this organization. Good bunch of people. Cal Berkeley. Smart dude. ARS Technica. Joe Mullen. Good dude. Beach. Good article.
And it is.